Welcome to Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official sports bar of March Madness. Now, here's the voice of the Gophers, Mike Grimm.
It's our final show before the holidays. Welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings. I am Mike Grimm. No Justin Gard today. He is traveling with family as they head to a little early for the bowl game, as we'll have bowl duties coming up this Friday. Niko Medved is here, and it is the holiday week. You got to win before the last game, or in the last game before the holidays. Last night, beating Campbell by 28 points in a game you jumped out to a 10-0 lead. And you told me in the pregame that you wanted to be, because you hear the stories of the teams that kind of look ahead. Everyone's excited for Christmas and what have you, and then they come out a little flat. You said, let's be the other team. Let's be the team that takes care of business, and it looked like from the opening tip your team was ready to do that.
They did. I wasn't trying to create a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I was pretty open and honest about it. We're coming off finals too, and guys had a great approach, and so it's always fun, those ones when you can jump out early and never look back, and it always makes the Christmas break just a little bit nicer.
Yeah, for sure. And it was, I think, 23-6 at one point. And you mentioned too in the pregame that Campbell would fight, and they trimmed it to 11. They got it down to 9, I think, at one point. But you guys always seem to have an answer.
We did yesterday.
Yeah.
So again, I thought the guys had a really good approach, and we executed really well on offense. I thought, defensively we did some good things. Our hands were active. We got contributions from a lot of different guys, and so it was good. I thought the team has improved here the last couple of weeks, and it showed yesterday.
And I want to ask you, I've got that on my list of stuff to ask you about improvement in season, but I want to keep talking about the game specific from last night first. You in the pregame also had mentioned that they really like to feed the ball, and you were, obviously you watched the film, you're correct, because they just kept trying to feed it, and it looked to me like you guys had prepared for that, because you were forcing turnovers. I think they had 17 turnovers. It was an immediate double, sometimes a triple even on that high-low game that they had. So talk me through, one, when you see the scout, and then when it's implemented, when it works, how satisfying that is as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game that really concerned me. I'd watched a lot of them on film, and they had played a lot of these teams really tough. It took Penn State everything they had to beat them. I mean, they were West Virginia. The Wisconsin game was a 5-point game with 6 minutes to go. They'd really battled, and obviously with our lack of depth in the interior right now, foul trouble was an issue. They were going to continue to throw it in there, so that our guys and our staff did a great job, the last few days really preparing for that, and it showed up, and we tried to make a conscious effort to not let them hurt us inside. And I thought, other than some offensive rebounds early, sometimes when we were fronting the post a lot, sometimes when you're doing that, you're out of position on the offensive glass. But for the most part, I don't have a lot of complaints.
Yeah, and then it always helps when the shots go in at the rate they were going in too, right, on offense?
Yeah, that's fun. It's a lot easier game when the shots go in, and you talk about assist rate and all those things, but it requires guys to make shots, and so we've been shooting the ball a lot better, and I think we've been getting good looks too.
As we look at the stats, field goal percentage for the game 57.7, 3-point range 50%, and free throws 89%, 8 of 9. So pretty good across the board there. And you're right, the assist numbers go up when the baskets go up, right?
That's exactly it. It's funny about the free throw shooting too. It's kind of one of those things we never hear about. God, well, they really did a great job at the free throw line. We're only going to hear about it when we don't.
Yeah,
right?
you go 8 for 16,
I know,
and it's the whole world's going to end. And 8 for 9, no one says a word.
No one says a word. But we didn't get to the line a lot yesterday, but I thought we generated a lot of really good shots.
It too looked early. It was apparent early that they were going to let the game be physical, that they being the officials, and it looked like both teams kind of adjusted to that. It got to be a pretty good wrestling match there at times.
It got to be a physical game. We better get used to it, because as you get even deeper in Big Ten play, that's what it's going to look like every night. So, they let the guys play a little bit, and that's fine by me.
Let's talk a little bit individually. Obviously, Cade Tyson has been your go-to guy, and he, again, was the leading scorer yesterday with 24 points. I thought the key stretch for him and for the team was they had cut it to either 9 or 11, I forget, and then and he had 9 points, and then all of a sudden he hits back-to-back threes, I think just before halftime a little bit, and all of a sudden it stretches it out to like 17, and it really, I thought the game at that point, that was, okay, it's in pretty good shape.
I thought there was a huge stretch, both Langston and Jalen Crocker Johnson picked up their second foul, and we were going to sit them probably the rest of the half, so we put Grayson and Kai Shinholster in, and then we made that run. And so I thought that was a huge stretch of the game. Like you said, the end of the first half. We also went to our zone defense a little bit. I thought we got like 3 consecutive stops, knocked the ball away. We're able to score, and like you're right, balloon the lead back up to 17. And really, I thought that kind of, like you said, gave us kind of a cushion that we never look back from.
Then there was a stretch in the second half where Isaac picked up 3 second-half fouls. You take him out, and I don't think the offense went away necessarily, but it wasn't flowing maybe as well as it had, and they make a little bit of a run, and all of a sudden you put Isaac back in, and the next thing you know, it's a Tyson dunk, Tyson 3, a couple of late shot clock situations with the 3, and the game's over then at that point.
Yeah, he's really coming on. He's grown a ton here in the last, he has all season, but particularly in the last couple of weeks, and I think he's doing that on both ends of the floor. He's getting more and more comfortable with what we're doing. He's becoming more aggressive, more confident, and yeah, it runs, a lot smoother when he's out there on the floor. And so, one thing with the numbers we have in our rotation, these guys, you're gonna foul in these physical games, but we really have to eliminate some of the silly ones. And it doesn't seem like it sometimes. It's not people look at the 4th foul or whatever it is, but a lot of times it might have been your 2nd foul was maybe one you could have avoided, and you just can't afford to pick up any cheap ones because we need you in the game.
And sometimes it's just bad luck. I don't remember which one it was. I thought he was trying to contest a shot, but ultimately I thought he was even giving ground to try not to commit the foul, and they still banged him.
Well, because sometimes you're put in a situation where there's going to be a confrontation, official's going to blow a whistle, but I thought it was the foul before that he probably reached down unnecessarily on a play, and he picked up that one, because sometimes it's in the official's hand and there's a confrontation. The call might not go against you, but it's the one before that you've got to eliminate, so then that call doesn't hurt much.
Right? Yep. Exactly. With him, I think I have these numbers right. Since Chauncey was injured out in California, he being Isaac has 31 assists and 7 turnovers. So in the 5.5, 6 games since, that's a pretty good ratio you can live with, huh?
That's pretty good. No, I love seeing that, and I think he's doing it too by continuing to be aggressive. And so I think really continue to pick his spots and be aggressive and getting comfortable with what we're doing. He's rebounding the ball pretty well. I think he had 2 blocks last night. I gave him made sure I pointed that out to the team, and he made sure everybody on the team, recognized that too. So he's really a good young player, and he's going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah, and then he had 15 points. He had 15 in the win against Indiana, so he's got some scoring punch to him too.
He does. I think, he's really shooting the ball well in practice, gaining confidence, in himself. And again, I just think the sophomore year, there's just a ton of room for growth. And we talk about, players improve during the season, but I think we're going to continue to see it. And now a lot's on his shoulders, with the injuries. And I told him, he's going to grow a lot through this. It's going to end up being a really good thing for him.
Yeah. And when you play minutes, you just get better, right? You've been through the wars, experience matters. And the more you play, the better you're going to be.
The better you're going to be. And that's part of it, but it's your approach. He really cares. He really wants to be good. He wants to do the right thing. He's really coachable. So you put all those things together, then you really got something good.
And obviously here in Minnesota, everybody loves a Minnesota guy on the Golden Gophers, and he's one of those guys. But then you see his smile, which kind of lights up the arena too. And he already is a pretty popular player, but as he continues to grow, he's got a chance to be, on the popularity list, one of the top Gophers.
Yeah, he's just he's such a great young man. He's so everyone who meets him, he's got such a great spirit. He's so kind. He's got a great heart. He's going to give everybody time. He just reminds me so much of all the terrific players I've been fortunate to coach throughout the years who are really good players, but they're even better human beings. And he's that way with my children, with anyone you meet. And so yeah, he's really a special guy, and he's just going to continue to get better and better. And it's nice that he is one of Minnesota, one of Minnesota's own, right? One of us.
One of us.
Is that what we call it?
That's what we say, one of us. So we love him, no doubt. Mm-hmm. Another one of us is Grayson Grove. And, a week ago we talked about Langston Reynolds, who scored only 3 points but had 10 assists and impacted that game against Texas Southern. Well, yesterday, Grayson Grove didn't score a single point, 0 in the points column. But I thought he made so many kind of sneaky winning type of plays, whether it's diving on the floor. He had a couple of rebounds in traffic. He at one point, he stuck his chest into into a guy and knocked a dude to a floor, which was you always need a play like that over the course of time to set the tone. And then would back tap, kept a couple of rebounds alive. I thought it was fun to see him emerge too.
And I think being a young player, redshirt freshman, and Kai Shinholster the same way. It's like they're really trying to grow and develop. But the one thing that can't changes your effort and your energy. And I think Grayson's really working hard. And so he came into the game, he said yesterday, and really, really battled. I love the loose ball he got on the floor. He's battling on the boards, really competing. And when you compete, good things happen.
Yeah.
Compete, have a great approach in practice every day, good things happen. And he's getting an opportunity to play a lot. And so is Kai Shinholster. And, that's going to be really good, for those guys' development. But they just got to continue to compete and play hard. But yeah, Grayson made a lot of winning plays yesterday. And we make sure we point those out. Scoring is the sexy thing, so to speak, but there's so many other things that impact winning.
And when you have that, and you're fresh, and he's a redshirt freshman, and Kai's a true freshman, they're called freshman mistakes for a reason. They just haven't experienced some stuff. So it's easier to live with freshman mistakes if the effort is there, right? I mean, if it's a freshman mistake out of either lack of effort or not knowing what they're supposed to be doing, I suppose that makes it harder on a coach to keep running guys out there. But when the effort is there, not that you want mistakes, but you can live with them, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, lack of effort's unacceptable. But you're right, you're going to make mistakes, and you've got to, continue to grow through those. But as long as you're competing and your approach is great and you can learn from your mistakes and correct them, absolutely. But you're right, the effort's got to be there, and it has so far with those guys.
And we could go down the entire box score. I know Al asked you last night about Bobby Durkin, because he is also, shots are starting to fall for him, which is good. And, we had him on the post-game show. I think it was it last Saturday maybe, or Sunday. And he talked about, when the shots are falling, it's a lot better. And we know he can shoot, and he just went through a little bit of a slump there, so to speak, as all shooters do. But he's doing some other things besides just shooting that's impacting the game, it looks like now.
Yeah, he's starting again. I think these guys are starting to get a feel for, how we want to play on both ends of the floor. He's reading the game really, really well on offense. He's a really good cutter, understands how to space, all those things. Guys run him off the three-point line, driving a closeout, making better decisions, being in the right spots defensively, using his length and his hands, and getting on the offensive glass when he can. And so, yeah, he's really starting to do some things, again, that impact winning.
And another starter that had, I thought, an early impact, 14 points, Jalen Crocker-Johnson hit those early couple of threes. And what a difference the offense makes when you have a big like that, who is kind of the quarterback in some of your sets out front. The big is, a decision maker, has to show some patience. But when he can knock that down, it just frees everything else up.
It really does. It really creates a lot of space for your offense. And one of the things, we've been able to, especially lately here, and our teams have always done that, is, we shoot a really good percentage from two. And I think we call them naked scores, but we're able to get a lot of, free cuts to the basket, steal opportunities that way, putting pressure on the rim with our cuts and our drives. And there's a lot bigger opportunity to do that when you can space the floor well. And so he's been shooting the ball better. And again, some of the stuff we do when you're big is also able to step out and knock down a three. It puts the defense in a tough situation.
You mentioned 2-point, you've been pretty good in 2-point shot shooting. Do you guys work on mid-range a lot in practice?
We work on it. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, listen, it's the low-hanging fruit in analytics. Everybody knows, that's why you call it the long contested too, right? Mid-range shots analytically are the worst shot in basketball. But I think it's situational.
Sure.
I think you understand too, defenses are designed to try to force you to shoot those shots. And sometimes those are the shots that you have to take, and it's different for different players and different situations. So I don't tell guys not to shoot those shots. We work on them too. But you're trying to get fouled, layups, catch and shoot threes. Those are the best shots. But sometimes, taking the mid-range shot is a good shot. But we're still trying to get the other ones first, right? So it's situational, if that makes sense. And certain guys are really good at it. There's a difference between taking a heavily contested floater from 10 feet or a wide open pull-up jumper from the elbow. Those are different. But taking a lot of early twos, tough twos like that, that's probably a recipe for not good offense.
Right.
Yeah.
And I watched not just the Gophers, but all teams over the course of time. as you mentioned, the analytics say you shouldn't take long twos or even mid-range twos because they're only worth 2, and you step back 4 feet and it's worth 3 or whatever. But I watch teams warm up, and it's almost always guys are either at the free throw line shooting or they're all outside the 3-point line shooting. You never see guys practicing a 12-footer from the baseline anymore.
No, the 12-footer, the baseline 12-footer, if you look at analytics, that is not a good look. Maybe for Anthony Edwards,
yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean, or some of these other guys, but it's not a analytic. But work a lot on finishing, creating help, learning how to get fouled, paint touches for kickouts, and putting pressure on the rim is critical. And like I said, we don't tell guys not to shoot mid-range shots. It's one that we work on, but it's just helping guys understand how can we get great shots. If we keep taking tough twos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. But you got to understand too, defense is they're trying to force you to take that shot, and sometimes depending on time, score, situation within a possession, you got to be willing to take that shot, and you got to practice it, and you got to knock it down. And some guys can knock that down at a high percentage.
Right. If they want you to take a 12-footer from the elbow or just inside the elbow and leave you open for it, at a certain time, that's a shot. Cade Tyson and Jalen Crocker Johnson, you're probably fine with them taking.
And sometimes you have to shoot it. You know, if you don't, you're going to get a worse one. But again, those are just situational things that you got to work on. Again, I try to have the mentality, don't say don't do that. It's, hey, what might be a better shot here that we could get? Let's keep fighting for great ones.
Yeah. All right, let's take our first break here. We're glad that you're all with us here on this holiday week. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings on campus. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. We're here every Monday and Tuesday throughout the season, and we're on campus at the University of Minnesota. Buffalo Wild Wings, proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved.
Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon is on. Oh, what fun it is to drive a new Toyota today. Hey, Jan from Toyota here, reminding you Toyota-thon is on. Make your holiday wishes come true with a new Camry, RAV4, Tacoma, and more. All right, let's sing it together this time. Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon is
Dealer
on.
inventory may vary. Toyota-thon ends January 5th. See your participating dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Do you know how plastic bottles become shirts, shoes, or backpacks? What happens when your recyclables leave your curb? Can they really become something new? Visit WM.com to learn how WM helps turn your plastic bottles into everyday products, giving materials a second life. WM has the recycling infrastructure, innovation, and expertise to serve our Twin Cities community and care for our planet. The recycling process starts and ends with you. Visit WM.com to learn more.
Visit the University of Minnesota Bookstore, your destination for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop for all things Gophers. And when you shop here, you're giving back because every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Stop by our campus location or shop anytime online at bookstores.umn.edu. Go Gophers!
Are you looking for concert or sports tickets? As a local Minnesota company, Ticket King is a company you can trust. They have seats to fit every budget and even offer parking or tailgating passes, and all tickets are guaranteed. Each order is personally attended to by one of our dedicated customer service representatives who are committed to providing you with a courteous, professional, quick, convenient experience. Visit us at TicketKingOnline.com or call us directly at 612-341-4131.
Buffalo Wild Wings has partnered with the Gopher men's basketball team for the Gophers Win You Win promotion this season. After every Gopher men's basketball victory, fans win 6 free wings. The offer is valid at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations throughout Minnesota with a $10 minimum purchase for 2 days following each Gopher win. Fans are also invited to join the Niko Medved Coaches Show on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 at the Buffalo Wild Wings University of Minnesota location. For full details, visit gophersports.com/BWW. Buffalo Wild Wings is a proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness.
Imagine getting insider access to your favorite Gopher student athlete. Exclusive events, behind-the-scenes content, and unique experiences that bring you closer than ever. That's what you get as a member of Dinkytown Athletes. With memberships starting at just $10 a month, every membership directly supports Gopher student athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them grow on campus and beyond. Take your fan experience to the next level. Visit DinkytownAthletes.com today.
You depend on CenterPoint Energy to deliver energy for what matters most. To you, your neighbors, and throughout the land of 10,000 lakes, so we can all make a better tomorrow. That's why we're investing in the latest technology to reduce emissions, offer rebates on qualifying energy-efficient natural gas equipment, and provide energy-saving programs that help save you money. Look ahead at centerpointenergy.com/futuremn.
Playing the Minnesota Lottery is a great way to add some win to your winter. Because while it's long, winter should be fun. And it's the everyday moments that help us through winter. A hot chocolate waiting when we come inside. An extra set of gloves. A fluffy new winter hat. So win this winter by picking up winter scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Beats, bites, and big plays start here. Mystic Lake's Hop House is now open. Turn up the volume with live music every weekend. Savor all-star flavors that bring the heat, surrounded by wall-to-wall game day action. Legendary nights are on tap at the Twin Cities' newest sports bar and live music destination, Hop House. Now open at Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. Proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics. Details at mysticlake.com.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Welcome back. It's more Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. We're at the Buffalo Wild Wings on campus. We got a nice crowd here on this holiday week. We thank you. The Gophers get a win last night, now 7-5 on the year. Next in action 1 week from tonight as we are having the show on Monday. So it will be Fairleigh Dickinson in town, the final non-conference game of the year before back to Big Ten play then for good. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. We were talking during the commercial break about the bench. Obviously with injuries, you're playing mostly two guys off the bench. Nehemiah got in there a little bit and got a bucket, which was fun to see last night as well. In some cases, foul trouble kind of forces your hand in terms of how you handle the rotation. But how are you and the coaching staff now navigating kind of playing through that 7-man rotation?
Man, that's a great question. I mean, I think it starts, in practice. We've had to kind of adjust, first of all, how long we go, what we do. We've got to get better, but we probably can't go as long. We don't do as much live stuff. That's been a challenge, for us. But sometimes, you learn as a coach, you got to go through that a little bit. It just helps me grow as a coach, too. How can we get even more creative to kind of do the things and accomplish the things that we want to get to? In the games, that starting group is going to have to log a lot of minutes. That's just what it is. And as Kai and Grayson, continue to get better and better, they can log more minutes. Sometimes fouls force your hand. I mentioned it before. We've really got to do even a better job of eliminating the silly fouls. Like yesterday, for example, in the game, if people remember, I don't remember if it was the second or third foul. I think it was the second one, but, Jalen Crocker-Johnson's going after an offensive rebound down at the other end. He really doesn't have much of a chance to get it, but he's battling and he kind of goes over the back and gets a cheap one. And I'm like, you got to let that go. You just can't afford to pick that up. And then you pick up your second foul and there's 8-9 minutes to go in the half. And you got to let that one go. And so I think it's just continuing to learn those things. Maybe that slap down foul that Isaac had. And I think it's going to make him a better player in the future. And then, Nemo, he just got to continue to work. He's got to continue to work and be more consistent in practice and take care of himself at a high level. And he can do that. Maybe he has a chance as the season goes on to play some more.
Is there, in a weird way, sometimes, you've recruited a bunch of guys. You've got 10 guys on the bench. Let's say you're fully healthy. I'm guessing a coach feels the need to rotate guys in. Yes, you want to rest guys, but you also want to make sure everyone's in the mix. Is, in a weird way, can having only 7 help a team play at peak level?
Well, there's some truth to that. I mean, one of the things, I learned really quickly as a coach, one of the biggest decisions and most important decisions you have to make is who needs to play.
Yeah.
And once you figure out these are our 9, I preferably like to have kind of a 9-man rotation. It fluctuates a little bit every year. Who are those guys? Who needs to play? What are the roles they need to be in? And once you figure that out, now you can really try to figure out how we maximize results. Well, now the decision making's taken out, right?
Yeah.
So the decision making's done for you. So you're right in a way, like, okay, this group right here, this is it. How do we maximize what we have right now to be successful? And so it does take some of the decision making out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd prefer to have
more,
a few more guys here, for the long haul and to compete at the level we want to compete at. But again, we just got to focus on what we have, and the guys I think have been buying into that. And Jalen's going to have to play center most of the time for us, and he's playing. He didn't play that much for center for us last year, at Colorado State, but he can do it, and it's created some opportunities for him as well.
Remember, and I know you use some of the John Beeline principles in offense, and he was one of my favorite guys to cover and chat with when I had the chances and watch his teams play. And if you go back to his really good teams, he made 2 championship game appearances. He really played 7 guys. I mean, his starters were 36, 30. I mean, Trey Burke was playing 39 minutes a night, some of those really good teams. And I remember asking him one time, because we're up in Ann Arbor and I'm ready to do the interview, and I'm like, he's got a 5-star guy that's playing like 2 minutes a night and another 4-star guy that's not even playing. And so I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, he goes, they know they have to wait their turn. We made it clear these are our 7 best, and that's where we're going with. And he goes, and I think his philosophy was 7. Play 7, and if you have to play 8 or 9, maybe you do. And if they have to wait, they have to wait. But we're trying to win, and this is how he thought they would win more games than not.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at it, and again, some of your best guys and most experienced guys are going to play upwards of 30-some minutes a game. That's just kind of what it is. But it's still those vital minutes from the bench that when you need him, right, in a key situation. It could be fouls or just, all right, we got to get this guy, a break, and you can kind of be creative from when you're going into immediate timeout. After immediate timeout, you get a little bit of a longer rest. And so, but you're right. The main guys are going to roll a lot of minutes, and hey, that's what they signed up for.
Yeah. And I know you're probably sick of answering the question every time someone sees you. Any updates on any of the guys that you're hoping to maybe get back at some point?
Unfortunately, no. Right? Yeah, nothing has really changed, with those guys. I mean, Chauncey did have surgery, on Thursday, and that went well. He's doing well, so he'll stay here, over the holidays. His family will come in to see him, but so he had successful surgery, so that's a good thing. So he'll start that rehab process. But as far as Rob and BJ goes, really nothing has changed at this point.
Yeah, and will you, depending on where that heads and where the season heads, and maybe we're putting the cart ahead of the horse here, we'll just have to wait to see. But will there have to be, do you think those 2 guys could make a decision as to, hey, it might even serve them best to, all right, we're just going to not play?
I don't know if we're at that point yet. There's so much to play. Like in Rob's case, this is his 5th year.
Yeah.
Would he get him? I don't know. So we'll see as we get going here a little bit more. There's still so much season to play yet, So, but listen, I think they're doing what they can right now. It's just kind of an unfortunate situation.
Yeah. All right, let's take another break. We'll have the long contested 2. I tried to come up with a couple of questions without Guardsy here. It probably won't be the same, but we'll see how it goes.
Might be better.
It might be better. I mean, he it might be over for Guardsy. If we slam dunk this thing. We do want to remind everybody that you can, especially during this holiday time, visit the University of Minnesota bookstore. It has the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it is your one-stop shop, and every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. You can shop in-store on campus or online at bookstores.umn.edu. One of the benefits of coming here to the show in person, we have a sign-up. Everyone can put their name in the hopper, and coming up a little later in the show during our final commercial break, we will draw a winner of a $25 gift card from the bookstore. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
Soon. KFAN.
Welcome back. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved. We thank you for joining us. We are at Buffalo Wild Wings here on campus. Buffalo Wild Wings, the proud sponsor of Gopher Athletics and the official sports bar of March Madness. We're back to Tuesday next week, by the way, so mark your calendars. There'll be a Monday night game next week with Fairleigh Dickinson, and then the day after we'll have a Tuesday show here on campus at noon. Mike Grimm with you. JG has the day off. We're with, of course, the head coach, Niko Medved. You told us yesterday in the pregame interview your belief that players can get better in season, which makes sense, but I think a lot of people think, in the off season you're lifting weights and you're doing a lot of drills and that's where the big progress is, and it probably is the big progress, but you're a believer in guys also improving as the season goes on. Take us through your philosophy and how that works.
1,000%. I mean, I think that I'd argue you make as much growth or sometimes even more during the season if you're playing. Obviously, the off season's critical, like you said, strength, conditioning. You're really honing some skills that maybe you're not able to get in the game yet. So that's critical too. But I just think throughout the season, we really try to be intentional about the film, the daily vitamins, we call them, individual skill instruction, both ends of the floor, whether it's footwork, finishing, reading a situation, footwork on your shot. I mean, you name it. You can go on and on. Doing those things throughout the year, and those daily habits really add up, and I've just seen it throughout my career. We do it too in the weight room, how we approach that, how you take care of yourself. You can mature, change your habits, how you sleep, how you eat, all those things. And so we really put a premium on that. We have every place we've been, and I've seen it work, so that's our hope with this year's team.
Yeah.
That guys just continue to get better. Took a guy like Isaac, from where he was, can he just continue to, have the daily grind, the daily vitamins, keep getting better and keep stacking days. It doesn't mean every game's going to be better than the next, but when you stack those days up and you look at from, end of October, kind of we're doing the exhibition games to, the Big Ten tournament, you can get a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt. And he even said in the post-game interview last night after the game that he can feel the game slowing down for him a little bit. He has that confidence. You can see almost as the game goes on the confidence building each week.
Absolutely. And, and I think what people don't see on the outside, too, is how much just emotionally these guys go through. I mean, there's all the physical stuff, right? The like I said, the film and the drill work, the skill work, the practice. But it's also just maturing emotionally, not getting too up, not getting too down, learning how to manage all those things within a game, the frustration that you have, the joy and exhilaration, and just all those ups and downs, and learning how to go through that is a huge part in development. And I'm really seeing that from him here, again, even from the fall to right now.
Yeah. All right, we ready for the long contested 2?
Let's do it. I kind of was feeling, could it be like Tom Brady coming in for Drew Bledsoe?
It might be. This might be it.
I kind of feel it. Yeah, I don't know if JD's listening, but you better be careful.
Be careful. Yeah, be careful taking those days off. Mm-hmm. You don't want to take a day off. All right, this is going to be a holiday-themed long contested 2. Do you have in your lifetime, from way back until now, a favorite Christmas present that you got that stands out to you? Either something maybe last year or something when you were 4 years old or something in between?
Boy, that's such a great question. I think if I remember, and I won't because the years just go by. I would say the days are long, but the years go by fast, right? At one point, I know I've got like my first Nintendo, right? Game thing with the cassettes, and that was just like
huge.
Magic. Oh man! And I'm trying to remember the games that we had first, but getting that first Nintendo and video games, it was the Atari first, right?
Yes.
But then the Nintendo came out, and it was just that much better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the game was everyone played on that. Was it
Mario?
Mario, yeah. That was awesome, and so that might have been my favorite. Like as a kid, we got that, and then we kind of got into the video games too, and that was fun. You just felt like you were kind of doing something really cool that not everybody else was doing.
Yeah, you're talking about the very first Nintendo. Remember way back, you're maybe not quite old enough. Was it Pong? Was it Pong? Was that the name of it? Like that was the first game, and that was basically 2 little stick things. You're playing ping pong, and then and you're thinking that's pretty cool. Yeah. And then Atari comes out.
Yep.
Now, where I grew up, a Radio Shack was going out of business, and my parents bought me a game called the Odyssey, which was like the Atari knockoff.
Okay.
So instead of like Donkey Kong, I had to play a game called Pickaxe Pete.
Never heard of that one.
How about that? The
Pickaxe
Odyssey.
Pete,
The Odyssey. So that was...
Was it
then
Asteroids,
went to
too, on
Asteroids was
Atari?
big.
Like, okay.
And I think was Pac-Man on Atari, too? I think maybe.
And then the other one, was it Nintendo came out? Was it The Legend of Zelda? Was that like a big game? I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm way off. I don't know, man.
And was the original the Nintendo 64, or was the 64 then later?
I think the 64 was later. Yeah.
But so you think that's your number one, the first Nintendo?
It's the first thing that just came to my mind. I've got, you got some great gifts throughout the years, but that one, I remember that, and like that was pretty cool. And then you get the gift, and then and I play a lot of video games, but me and my brothers, we could just play that, and we just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so are you? Do you get gifts for your kids, or does your wife pick those out? Or as a basketball coach, do you have time to head to Kohl's or something?
Oh, I do everything.
You do all the shopping.
I do all of it. I got to do everything right. I got to coach the team. I got to recruit. I got to do everything around the house.
And buy the Christmas presents.
All of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I would do without Erica. So she handles that for the most part. I shouldn't say. I know my kids aren't listening here, but and then I know what happens. But I looked really, hey, thanks, Dad. Are
you when your kids open the presents? Are you as surprised as they are sometimes?
I'm not. I wouldn't say that much, but like, remember, we got that for that. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. I remember, So but she's the cool mom, so she knows, what's what going on. Exactly.
Yeah, very good. How about for your holiday celebrations? Do you have a favorite or a traditional food? Is it always the same each year, or how does that work in the Medved house?
Well, way back, when I was I say way back now, it was when I was a kid and growing up here, we'd end up going to mass at midnight. We did the midnight mass on Christmas Eve. But we always had this kind of traditional, my dad's side of the family Slovenian, so we would always have the, traditional Slovenian sausage, sauerkraut. We had this soup that we made and the homemade bread, and that was pretty cool. We still do that today. So we'll still do that over at my mom's house. Even when we were in Colorado, we would order not the stuff you go here, but we would order it from the Iron Range, all the way up there. Order the real stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you want to do it. So we still would get that for Christmas, and we'll do the same thing here Christmas Eve. Now we will not go to mass at midnight. God, I'm too old for that. You know what I mean? I stay
Past
up
your
that
bedtime.
late. Oh my gosh, I would be so sound asleep by that. But we will do that. So that's kind of been a tradition in the Medved household, and one that we've stayed with.
Is it?
And the sauerkraut's awesome.
Sauerkraut's
really good. Yeah.
For you this time around, so this is kind of your first Christmas back in your home city with your family here, as you've kind of worked your way across the country from East Coast back to the Midwest. Will there be a little extra special meaning this year for you?
You know what? It'll be cool. I remember my parents still live in the house I grew up in. That's where we spent. So that will be kind of cool this year to have my kids there and, spend some time there during that time of the year, which will be neat. And so have my entire family there as well. That will be neat. I'll say this though too, when you coach now in the grind of these seasons, and as you know now more than ever, everyone thinks, well, the season's over. Heck, when the season's over, the next 6 weeks are almost busier than the ones that you just, went through. So we get this little 4-day break here. Boy, you got to enjoy it, man. Go off the grid a little bit here. And so also just going to enjoy some time just being at my house.
Sure.
And we've had people over and all that stuff like that. So it's going to be nice just to have some time at home.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. How was that for the long contested too? All right. We did okay.
KG better watch his back. He's going to think he's, just earned the right to
just waltz in
just
here.
Waltz right back in here.
We'll let him do it next week.
All right.
But it's going to be tested. We're going to see, he the bar's got to be raised next week.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a break. Stay with us. It's Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.
Gopher fans know the power of a great team. M Health Fairview University of Minnesota Medical Center is ranked the #1 hospital in the Twin Cities by U.S. News and World Report. This is more than an award. It's a reflection of our team of doctors, nurses, and staff who deliver world-class care so you can be at the top of your game. As the official healthcare provider of Gopher Athletics, M Health Fairview is proud to serve people across the state.
Midland Hills Country Club offers a wonderful setting for any of your upcoming holiday events. Our facilities and excellent food and service are sure to exceed your expectations. Let our professional staff guide you in making your event a memorable one. Come experience what Midland Hills has to offer. We're conveniently located in Roseville, just 10 minutes from either downtown area. Visit midlandhillscc.org.
I'm Clay Geary, former wide receiver for the Minnesota Gophers.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we are part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at True North Mergers and Acquisitions, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit thetruenorthfamily.com.
Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon is on. Oh, what fun it is to drive a new Toyota today. Hey, Jan from Toyota here, reminding you Toyota-thon is on. Make your holiday wishes come true with a new Camry, RAV4, Tacoma, and more. All right, let's sing it together this time. Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon, Toyota-thon is
Dealer
on.
inventory may vary. Toyota-thon ends January 5th. See your participating dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Next Monday, it's Fairleigh Dickinson. Tickets available, gophersports.com, 8 o'clock the tip. We'll take air here on the Gopher Sports Network at 7:30. No Guardsy today, so it's Coach Medved and I here flying a two-man game. Big Ten, we're almost set to resume that, and I know you want a few days to yourself before you really have to dive into that, but how much at this point, knowing that you're out, you have your own team to worry about and you want to get ready for each of these games, but how much do you pay attention this time of year to the other games? I know Purdue played Auburn the other day, and they suffered a fate that almost everyone that goes into that place suffers. I think that was a 28-point game, too, and Auburn's ranked 21st, so Purdue's pretty good. Nebraska's undefeated. Michigan's undefeated. There's 4 teams in the top 15 out of the Big Ten. So how much are you paying attention?
Well, you just made me pay attention right there. Even if I wasn't, I guess I am now. Yeah. I've watched most of the teams play a little bit, so I have a pretty good idea. But honestly, like right now, I just, and I know it's a cliche, I'm just worried about us, man. Yeah. I really am. You take them one at a time. You keep getting better. You have no control over what anyone else is doing in their program right now. The only thing you have control over is what we're doing. And so, this is the Big Ten. Is what it is. We got a lot of teams that look like they could be national championship, contenders. But that's what you sign up for, and it's the kind of program we aspire to be. And so, we're going to get our chances here to challenge ourselves. But the best way to do that is to continue to get better and worry about our own house.
It's new too in terms of now year 2 of this 18-team league, and it's different than it used to be, so to speak. I'm not saying it's better, it's worse. It's just different in that you play everybody basically just once. You only play 3 teams, I think, twice now. Yeah. So it's more of almost like a football schedule where you play somebody there at their place last year, you're playing them at home this year, and vice versa. I don't think that's how it was right in the Mountain West. It was more of you play almost everybody we were everybody twice, then we added somebody, then there was most of the teams twice, a couple of one plays, and then we got 20-game league schedule, so true round robin, home and home. Yeah. I loved that. I thought that was great, just playing everybody twice. I love that kind of competition that way. Trying to sweep a team 2 times was always really satisfying, but really hard to do. But that's not the way it goes here. And so I think there's probably pros and cons to both. I do like the fact that they made the decision this year to let all the teams in the Big Ten tournament. Yep. And when you look at it, what happened last year, and I wasn't here obviously, but boy, to get into the tournament, that last spot, it went down to the wire, right? And you've got all these teams within a game. Like in Nebraska's case last year, they get left out. They were on the bubble. They were on the bubble.
They had a chance. They go to the Big Ten tournament. They win 2 games. They're in the NCAA tournament, and they get left out because of, and think about how much the schedule impacts that.
Yeah.
So it could just literally come down to who you played at home and on the road, and just by the luck of the draw, and so when you're playing this unbalanced schedule like that, I think it's hard to leave somebody at home. Yeah. And so I'm happy that they're doing it that way this year.
I think that's the reason that particular Nebraska situation's the reason they decided to
and it's
switch
going to happen again. I mean, it could happen again. The league is so deep, and you're just coming down to a couple games, and it literally could just come down to who ended up, going to Purdue instead of here, and I don't think that's fair.
Well, when you think about that last year, I'm trying to remember how it all unfolded. I remember the Gophers went down there and upset Nebraska late in the year, and at that point they had, I think, were coming off of a loss at Ohio State, but prior to that loss at Ohio State, they're like in all the projections solidly in.
Absolutely.
So then they lose to Ohio State. The Gophers get them on their floor. First time Minnesota had won in that building. And then I think the final game they're playing Iowa, the winner of that game makes the Big Ten tournament. And the loser's out. And as you said, Nebraska's still on the bubble at that point. Absolutely. So they lose the game. They don't get a chance. I remember talking with an opposing coach at the Big Ten tournament, and he was basically saying, if I'm Fred Hoiberg, I'm so mad right now. Look, they lost some games. If they just win one of those, they're probably in. But still, the league, in essence, kind of pulls the trapdoor on you there in terms of their rule on that thing.
And I get it. These things, well, just win another game and it's fine. I mean, I get, but that doesn't always.
And it's not.
That's easier said than done.
It's not easy to win.
It's not easy. All these games. I mean, everybody looks at every single game is just people have no idea how hard winning is, and so yeah, I think it was a good move by the league. I mean, to protect ourselves, and so everyone will get a crack at it.
All right. How about this for the craziest idea you'll hear all season? People talk about the non-conference schedule and all this stuff. So there's 18-team Big Ten. What if you played a round-robin, 34-game schedule, and that's all you played?
Wow, you just really threw that at me, huh?
Just what the heck?
A couple things, man. We can go down the rabbit hole if you want here. I do think you're going to see as this stuff evolves, in my opinion, and what do I know, but I think you're going to see the basketball schedule eventually get expanded. I think we'll end up playing more. We'll get one more game next year, but I could see us going to a 45 game kind of deal. And why would they do that? Money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell the TV rights for more games, more money, more high profile games, more money, right? I could see that. So that I could see something like that, whether we go to 34 games or not, but I could see more high profile games, more games in general, because of the revenue piece of it too. They're here all summer, and I'm not saying I'm necessarily a proponent, but I do think we need to evolve here with the times. And I do think you'll see more of these high-profile opponents, too. These neutral site games, right now are probably not going away. People want to know why you're not playing more games at home, like home and homes. It's just become harder and harder because, there's a monetary component. You go play these one-off neutral games. Usually there's money involved for both schools. And in today's day and age, that's difficult to turn down.
Yep.
That's just kind of the way that it is. So,
yeah, and with you, and we've got just a minute or so, I wasn't even necessarily intended to go down this, but I always am intrigued by the discussion. So scheduling now for next season, even though you've got lots of stuff to worry about for this season, when does that start in earnest in regard to the non-conference opponent?
Oh, we're already doing it. I mean, next year, we've got to find the multi-team event that will be in a couple of these, neutral games that we've talked about. I mean, those are critical to developing your non-conference schedule. You kind of work everything else around that. We don't have any home and homes. We had the Missouri game this year. We actually were about ready to schedule Vanderbilt home and home, but that fell through once we had to play at Missouri. But no, we're working on it right now. It's different than football. That seems to be done like 40 years in advance or whatever. Which
I think we're going to Alabama in like 2098 or something.
You know what I mean? But no, I mean, we're kind of working on that right now. But because the teams change so much year to year, sometimes people they don't want to schedule out too far because you don't know what it's going to look like in 3 years.
Matt, Vandy would have been nice. Their arena, the kind of old historic Memorial Coliseum where you'd be on the end zones. The benches are in the end zones.
Play there before.
And then play at the elevated floor here. That'd make for some fun TV.
Kind of cool. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day you can get that one scheduled. All right. Well, very good. We always appreciate it. Happy holidays to you. And I know you always want to wish all the Gopher fans that.
Yeah, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. I tell you, it was really cool. I thought that we had a really good crowd yesterday.
Yeah.
For being on break and the students, I thought the crowd was good. And so hopefully that continues to grow. But appreciate all of you. Have a Merry Christmas. Go Gophers.
All right. Very good. There he is, the head coach. coach. He is Niko Medved. Next game a week from tonight, Monday the 29th. Fairleigh Dickinson coming to town. 8 o'clock the tip. We'll take air at 7:30, and tickets available at gophersports.com. We have Gopher football this Friday. Please tune in. 1:30 is the pregame. 3:30 the kickoff, Minnesota and New Mexico from the Rate Bowl in Phoenix. This has been Gopher Basketball Weekly with Niko Medved from Learfield.